Hello, my name is George Georgopoulos. Welcome to the Classically Urban Podcast. Today joining me is...
OG Philly G.
And?
Baby Ice Cube.
Alright, so Brennan, you said that you had an NRA ad to show
Don't
to
put
us?
it out there like I just follow the NRA like this. Calm down.
Oh, fuck, what do you want
I'm
from
just
me?
saying. Anyway, yeah, there's an NRA ad. I don't remember. I don't know how to say the lady's last name, but her name's like Dana something, Loesch or something stupid. And basically, it's called Freedom's Safest Place. Now, my problem with this is that she basically called out the entire liberal community and was like, "You guys are causing all these problems. You're trying to destroy the conservative party. You're trying to destroy the president we've got. You're trying to fearmonger all these people into believing that the next president is going to be Hitler." It's all lies, and it makes me so mad that she had the audacity to say this, and that she basically said that we're pushing the police to a point where they have to kill us. Like, why? There's no, like, this has been going on way before way before 2017 and 2016 and 2015, all these killings started becoming public news. So, no, we are not pushing them to that point. They've been at that point for years. And now, all of a sudden, she's blaming us for it. Like, how does that make any sense? How is that okay?
Well, it's just basic slander tactics. Like, they're acting like the fucking campaign never ended.
Because it never has. It's going to keep going until the next person gets elected.
True.
But that's the other thing is, like, both parties attack each other consistently. That's what they do. Like, they slander the hell out of each other to make sure that everyone in America wants to vote for either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. But she's making it seem like liberal left-wing people are the only people out here trying to destroy the country.
Yeah. And if you listen to the ad, she very much does something that I hate, and it's literally painting one side as the enemy instead of just some people with different viewpoints. And it's something that I brought up in a previous podcast. This fear-mongering only, like, hurts us. When you make an enemy of your fellow countrymen, it can only end badly. People are going to get radicalized. They're going to think, holy shit, if we don't deal with these people, we're going to lose our country. And it's frustrating to see that you could get to that point with someone who at the end of the day just has a different opinion. And the people she's bringing up that compare Trump to Hitler and such, they are the radical left. They're the people that sane liberals like myself and other people look at like, Jesus Christ, will you calm the fuck down? The same way I imagine Phil sees certain people on the right and thinks, would they just calm the fuck down?
That's fair, yeah. I mean, and my whole thing about making the president look like to be Hitler, I sat at IUPUI in the Kelley School of Business. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you don't get much more right than that. Like, that business in general is all about, making money, and that's what the right wing does. There was a girl who sat there next to me during a test and got bored, so she turned Hillary's name into the swastika and turned it into Hitler. How is that any different than those left-wing people saying, "Oh, Trump's the new Hitler"? Like, how is that any different?
Yeah, dude.
It doesn't make any sense.
They try to do it with Bernie Sanders, and that's not a joke either.
Well, yeah, that's because
Like,
he gets close to socialism, which they do not enjoy.
Which, that is not why we were mad at Hitler.
No, not at all. Not even closely the same thing.
Vegan was a Hitler. That's not why we hated Hitler.
But Phil, like, you follow, like, you're part of the NRA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that, like? I know when we listened to it before, you said that doesn't make any sense, but like, does that like bother you in any way, or does it make, like, how does that make you feel? I'd hate to sound like a psychologist, but like,
Let your feelings out.
Just what does the image look like? What do you see in this ink blot?
the butterfly.
It does, only because, like, you could literally, like, make the person saying this, like, somebody else, like Hillary Clinton, about the right wing, and it would work exactly the same. Like, there's no difference between what was said that the other party wouldn't say. It's just very generic, very like very slandering. It's just the typical like go-to that everybody has. So
I guess for me, it makes me more mad just because of, like, when you didn't see the video, but like when she's talking about how that we push the police to the point to do their jobs, you don't see white people berating the police and like making the police do their jobs. It's the Baltimore riots. It's all the protests in South Carolina. It's like the only time that they put images of the police doing their job out there is when it's a protest of black people standing up for themselves. And that's why it makes me so mad. Because how are you going to blame us for standing up for ourselves and saying the cops are just doing their jobs when they're sitting there killing us for no reason?
Well, you have to understand that from their point of view, they didn't do it for no reason.
No, there's no point of view that makes it a good reason.
Their point of view. They think that, goodness me, Michael Brown had it coming. Who's the kid with the hoodie and the Skittles? Trayvon Martin. They think he really did rob that convenience store and then charge that officer.
He wasn't an officer, first of all. I'll just throw that out there. What was his name?
Trayvon Martin was the guy killed by George Zimmerman.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He
wasn't a police officer.
I was talking about someone else.
By the way, fuck George Zimmerman forever. Thank you.
Seriously. I knew that was bad back then. That was before all of this. He bought some Skittles and he had a hoodie on, and they shot him.
That was Trayvon Martin.
No, that was not Trayvon Martin, because it was a police officer who shot him.
Are you talking about the dude who was walking on the sidewalk and just kept walking?
I think so.
I don't remember his name.
I
feel so bad for not remember his name, but I don't.
At this point, I don't. You want to know why?
Because there's so many.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous.
I can only remember so many. I mean, I remember Eric Garner because I saw that footage.
Yeah.
Philando Castile, I saw that footage.
Man, we didn't ever get to talk about that.
No, we talked about it.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah, we did talk about
on
it.
one of the pre-podcasts.
That made me so mad too. But my thing is, like, there isn't a point of view. Like, I don't care, like, what you say. There's no reason to take another man's life unless he's shooting back at you. And 9 times out of 10, no one was shooting back at him. There's no reason. And, like, if he was coming at you with a knife, yeah, I understand that, because that's still an attempt to kill you.
That's a weapon.
Yeah. But if he's just standing there saying, just not wanting to get down, tase him. I don't care if you tase him. I don't care if you beat his ass a little bit and beat him like Rodney King. Just don't kill him. There's no reason to kill somebody. I don't care what is going on in your day or what is going on in your life or what is going on in society. There is no reason to take that man's life. Especially with Philando Castile. His daughter was in the back seat. Like, that, there's no reason for that. So for them to say that, you know, from their point of view is bullshit and it's a lie. That is fake news. Because they're just trying to make it seem like they're the good guys because they know they fucked up. And I can't sit here and say that I see that point of view because it's just impossible for me to do it. And you know me, I like to try to see both sides of everything. But this one, I just can't. And I feel like that's unfair, but it's the way I feel about it.
Once again, there was video footage and audio, and that's one of the things that make these situations so horrible. Not only because that happened, but then you see people's reaction when presented with that evidence. And that's almost as bad as the crime itself. It's the acceptance in the face of all that tells us that it should not be accepted.
I made a huge mistake with that Philando Castile video because it was on Facebook, right?
Oh, no.
I looked at the comments underneath that. Bruh, I never wanted to shoot an American more in my life in that moment, man. I swear to you, I was so livid. Like, I couldn't look at my phone for like a good 20 minutes because I was just so mad at what people were saying about that man. Like, ugh. Like, I'm the kind of person, like, if Donald Trump died today, for the rest of my life, I'd feel bad talking bad about him because he's a dead man. Like, that to me is just a different level of respect. Like, because they're not there to, like, defend themselves. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't talk about a dead guy. That's That's heartless. That's cold. You know what I mean? And for you to just to destroy this man, and after his daughter saw him get killed, like that's ridiculous.
Did you ever see the footage afterwards?
Of
Him and his girlfriend and his daughter.
oh yeah,
And
I saw the daughter get like out the car and like run to the police. Well, not run.
No,
but she,
no,
like,
no. There's footage of them in the back of the cop car.
Oh no, I never saw that.
It was fucking. The woman was just wailing. Understandably, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You hear her daughter say something fucking horrifying. It's like, "Mommy, please don't scream anymore. I don't want them to shoot you too." As a child, she understood.
She was like 4.
Yeah, I would not have done that when I was 4.
It's because you live a different life, my friend.
True. No, I mean, like, even as a 4-year-old, I would not have. Granted, I've never been put in that situation as a 4-year-old.
True. I don't think a lot of 4-year-olds have.
Thankfully.
But yeah, I don't know. I just that when I saw the NRA ad, I saw it a couple weeks ago, but I just sitting here when we were getting ready for this, just made me think about it, and I was just so mad because we didn't get a chance to really talk about it last week because I just spaced it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about you guys because I was like because I was sitting here like, oh, it was ridiculous. I feel like it's almost like a call to arms, like they're calling people to like.
Yeah, that's another
It's
thing.
dangerous, man.
Like I said, they're what's it called? They're making an enemy of half
Half of
the
the
half
world.
the country. No, half the country.
Well, yeah.
Fuck
but-
the rest of the world. This is America, goddammit. We are the
okay,
world.
see now you're.
They're making an enemy of half the fucking country, and then making them seem like all source of all our problems. And it's the NRA, which kind of subtly implies, hey, you probably should arm yourselves.
Phil just looked at me like.
That's basically what it is, George.
Yeah,
That's why it's an association, and so people can own guns.
true.
It's a group
But
of
I
people
think-
who own guns.
Yeah,
I
guns.
think
I
what
know
George
what the
is
NRA
saying
is.
is that when people see that
It's
you
a-
don't own a gun, they're gonna want to go get one.
Or people who own guns are going to want to get more guns and ammunition.
Good.
Which, once again, I don't have a problem with that. You know me, I don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
guns.
it's not the it's not the guns that are the problem. It's the people that are using
It's
them.
the message that comes along with, hey, get some guns. It's, hey, your neighbor might be out to get you and ruin our country. Get a gun.
Like that's a dangerous thing that
It's
I don't
fucking
think they
horrible.
really understood when they put that out there. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because we're a bunch of snowflakes. Phil's sitting there thinking, I need a shovel for all these snowflakes.
You guys know who's gonna be safe when the purge happens.
Yeah, exactly. The
I
NRA.
yeah, that's fair. But
That's why I'm
it's just-
trying to get a gun, goddammit.
look, if you're gonna get a gun, that's all on you. That's fine. Like I personally don't want one, but that's just the way I
No,
operate.
I
but
want a gun. I want several guns.
yeah.
Several. I'm not even playing. Like, I want several guns.
Do you want to be one of those people that owns an AK-47?
No, I want to own an AR-15.
Why?
That's just the new
Yeah.
version,
I know.
AR-15?
pretty much.
New version of the AK?
Basically. They both shoot really fast.
So do 22s. I wouldn't call it an
It
AK-47.
was a joke.
Okay, everything's a CRX, George.
It is. Everything's a CRX.
You just went from guns to cars. That's
Yeah.
your wheelhouse right there, man.
But-
We've hit every topic
yeah,
for Phil
I-
today.
I want several guns. I really do.
Why?
They're
Well,
fun.
Well, depends on the situation. Like, I know I want a revolver, semi-automatic pistol, just because semi-automatic pistol.
Just so you know, you can't have Asperger's and have a gun. Just throwing that out there.
No, I'm actually pretty sure you can.
Yeah.
Can you really? I don't know. I was just
Because this is fucking America.
I was just fucking with George.
The only
Yeah.
person who can't have a gun is a felon
yeah.
Oh,
and
really?
a toddler.
Oh, no.
That needs to change, though. I feel like that needs
Yeah,
to change.
we should give toddlers guns.
No,
Yeah,
not
definitely.
the toddlers. I'm talking about like people who are like mentally, like clinically crazy. Not crazy is a bad term, but
The problem you run into with that is
proving
who
it.
determines that
Yeah.
somebody's clinically crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know that's why they haven't really like tried to do it yet. But
But,
part of me thinks that needs to be the next step in gun control. Not
Yeah.
that like guns just need to be outlawed because that's ridiculous.
No.
But
even if I just don't want to get rid of guns. Guns are
no.
fun. They're awesome. I shot a gun once. I like them.
The only reason I don't think we should get rid of guns is because, like, from my own personal viewpoint, is because at some point, just in case, like, at some point in my life, someone who I know does not like me has a gun and is near me a lot, that's the only reason I would want a gun.
Yeah.
like if I lived out and like, not saying everyone who lives out in the boonies is racist, but like that'd make me a little hide in my sin. Like whenever I leave where we're from, like our city, my sins are on high alert all the time.
Which, funny thing about the NRA, and since we're talking about guns, I work in the union. A lot of those guys are liberals because fucking Democratic Party is the one that supports the union. And all of them have guns.
Yeah, a lot of people have guns.
I've heard a tale of this one guy who introduces himself to everybody as, "Hey, I'm a gun-loving liberal."
That's a good dude.
That's awesome. That's my hero right there.
Yeah, I think I think it's dumb that the NRA is so associated with, like, they've associated themselves so much with the Republican Party that it's like.
Well, think about. You were gonna say something, Phil?
It's because the NRA is very like pro small government. That's why most Republicans are pro small government. They want stronger state, local governments than federal,
which I can get behind, but
yeah,
I just feel like. No, I just think a lot. Like I don't know the NRA's like true political views. I just know like.
Well, nobody does because it's an organization and it's
always
rotating
hard
people.
Yeah.
It's not a political party.
Yeah.
Like what's McDonald's political views?
But if you look at the way they swing most often.
But what's Chick-fil-A's political views?
They hate the gays.
Yeah. No gays.
Bro, why did my dad? I was walking through my house the other day and my dad was like, "Brandon, go one of them gays," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Those GAIZEs, man." I'm like, "What?" Like, mind you, my dad is not homophobic in any sense of the word, but he was just making a joke like, "Brandon, watch out for them gays." I'm like, I was like, dude, you are like 40 and you need to stop. Get out of here. Yeah, now every time me and Abby see someone who's like suspectly gay, not there's anything wrong with that. I'm like, Abby, there go one of them gays. Like, if you were to take that out of context, we're such homophobic people, but we're really not, you know.
Context is key.
Yes, context is always.
So is
key.
cash.
What?
Cash is king.
Yeah, you just tried to say it was key.
Well, it is key.
Bruh.
It's key.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Look, I'm talking about guns.
Yeah.
And keys of cocaine. And cash.
Cold hard
and
cash.
And gays.
But like, just the fact that like he was sitting down in front of the TV, didn't break eye contact with the TV, right? Just staring. He's like, "Brandon, go one of them gays," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Them GAIZEs," and then nothing. I'm like, "What?" So I just like walked back to my room and pondered on it for a minute. I looked at my sister and was like, "Do you know what Team was talking about with the GAIZEs?" And she's like, "The gays?" I was like, "Yeah." It was the most confusing 30 minutes of my life.
Can I say his name on the podcast?
Huh?
Your dad's?
Yeah, I just said it.
Oh, Teven. All right, so my favorite part about Teven, Cody pointed this out to me. We'll all be in the kitchen talking shit with each other. And then Teven's in the fucking living room.
Yeah.
Just yelling at us.
Yep.
Just talking shit. Like.
And it 9 times out of 10 has nothing to do with what we're talking about in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, he's a.
Like, mind you.
He's a character, man.
We'll be talking about cars in the kitchen. And then just from the living room, you hear, "Y'all hear about O.J. Simpson?" And just.
The juice is loose. Like, what? Yeah, I honestly, like, in my 21 years of knowing this man, I do not think I've like had more than 10 serious conversations with him just about anything. Like, he's either the only time he's serious is when he's kind of annoyed with me and my sister, or he just is not having a good day. Other than that, he's like no joke, he's not serious at all. Like, it's the weirdest thing ever.
Okay, throwing it back to the O.J. Simpson thing. Okay, so I saw the article talking about how he was up for parole and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, like, not even 10 minutes later, I see an article that's like, O.J. Simpson might be denied parole because he was caught. What's the term that they use? No, what's the term they use when, like, they're jacking off in prison?
Oh,
masturbating?
Well, no, not that. There's an actual term.
I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, it was like
he was basically jacking off in prison.
10 minutes later, there's an article. He's like, he might be denied parole because he was caught jacking off by a female cop in the prison. I'm like, it just went from really good day for OJ to really bad day for OJ.
Why would they deny him parole for that?
I don't know. This is
It's like a public indecency thing. It's a crime.
But
You're not supposed to jack off in prison, Brandon.
No, listen. I don't care who you are. You cannot. There's no way. If you were in prison, you can go. Like if you got as much time as OJ did, there's no way you can go that long.
Well, he was up for parole because he was good behavior.
I understand that.
And then he pulls that shit.
I understand that, but there's only so much a man can take, Phil.
But I couldn't figure out like the actual timeline. Did that happen before or after his actual like hearing for parole?
Right, because it came out so fast.
Like,
yeah.
It was literally within like minutes of each other. I'm like, I don't know.
Like in the hallway on his way back to his cell?
No,
he was so happy.
It was in his cell, and the guard was making her rounds.
I feel like that shouldn't be something that you should be like not admitted for parole for. Because I don't feel like that's not something that you would just do in the public anyway. Because it's like, and I mean, granted, he probably would knowing OJ, but like, probably not anyway. But like, you basically live in the cell. Like that's it's not really your space because you're in prison and nothing is yours in prison. But like, I mean, it's where he fucking sleeps. Like,
did you see the picture though of like that they took of his cell?
No.
It actually looked like half-foot decent.
Well, yeah, because he's OJ and he's got money, but
I don't think that's how jail works.
No, you have a commissary.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's allotment of money that you have.
And if you if you're high profile,
but like it looked like it was just him.
Yeah,
he had like a row of shoes, coats hanging up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
it looked pretty fucking decent.
When you're like a high profile prisoner like that, you can request your own cell, and they probably will give it to you because, it's just you're famous. Like you live by different rules when you're famous. We all know that. They like to say they don't, but they do. Like.
And not to mention, they got to protect him because how many inmates would like to say they fucked OJ?
Wow. This might be, like, too much information, but it's fine. Like, my grandfather was I want to say the superintendent at a prison in Indiana. And it was the prison Mike Tyson was in when he went to prison. Like, they were there at the same time. And Mike Tyson had his own cell. He could go work out whenever he wanted. He could have all these things that the other inmates didn't have because he was Mike Tyson. It's just the way it works. I think it's dumb. I feel like, you know.
If you go to jail, you should go to jail.
Yeah, you should go to jail, right? But then you got to look at like the level, like what their crimes are too.
It's not an extended stay hotel.
Well, he was in there for armed robbery, wasn't he?
Yeah, which should put you with the general population, but that's Well, I mean, he technically is a murderer too, but they say
allegedly.
Shut up! Everyone knows OJ did it.
Oh, OJ?
Yeah, they all know he did it.
Quick thing. Recently, I saw footage of a bunch of prisoners trapped in a prison.
Really? No way.
I don't know why the fuck.
Bruh.
All right, so I saw footage of them trapped in a prison, screaming, "Let us out! Help us!" because the prison they were in had no AC. Think about that. Big fucking concrete building, no AC. And it's constant. It's constant heat like that.
But they deserve it.
So you're of the mind, fuck them, they're in prison, they're not human anymore.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been an asshole. Like, there's not that they're not human anymore, but you don't get to kill somebody or rob somebody or rape somebody or attempt to kill somebody
or sell drugs.
Drugs that's
a victimless crime.
Yeah. How about this?
Not if the person ODs.
True. I think that's true, but I think, let's say, victimless crimes aside, if you go to prison, you don't deserve to have the same amenities that everyone else has.
Okay, but here's the thing. Heat stroke is still a very real thing.
That's fine, but, like...
And they're still fucking people.
Are you mad that all the homeless people don't have AC, George?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
kinda, yeah.
We shouldn't worry about what the people who decided to break our society's laws feel like when we still have people out here who freeze to death, get heat stroke, and can't eat. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying that we should focus on the prisoners. I'm saying we should focus on people who have to endure that.
Well, we gotta. In order to do that, you have to prioritize people, my friend. Like, I hate to say it, but you do.
Which is weird, because you think I'd be the one to hate people.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking from, like, a real perspective. Like, I wish we could.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there was a way that we could. And there probably is. We just haven't figured it out yet.
I think for me, because I've kind of been in that situation somewhat in a slight way. I remember, are you familiar with where I work?
I would just like to point out to everybody that George just said that he feels like he went to prison when he really didn't.
No,
Continue.
I feel like I've been in that type of fucking heat before.
Yeah.
Dude, every fucking day I go.
Or how about every time me and Phil get in our car when it's 100-degree weather outside?
Yeah, imagine that doesn't
Hey,
go away.
I fixed your AC.
And it broke again, my friend.
Yeah,
It
imagine
did. Yeah.
imagine that doesn't go away and you can't roll down the windows. And there's not a strong breeze coming through every time you go fast. Imagine that heat just sets the fuck in. And it's just you in there.
Yeah.
Well, not just you, but you know what I mean.
I mean, would they rather be outside in the real dead heat with the sun beating on their back all the time? No.
In that situation, yeah, because you're out. It's not just the fucking like greenhouse. You know what I mean?
It's not a greenhouse. It's concrete, dude.
Fuck it, let them burn. Fuck it, let them. I don't.
That's not what I'm
That's
saying,
how. That's
bro.
how. That's how hard it is to argue with you. I fucking kill all the prisoners.
Because it's not a greenhouse works because it's made of glass.
But you understand what the concept I'm getting. The heat stays in there.
Yeah,
there's no
that's fine. But
major
I feel like
fucking breeze.
okay, then get them some fans. Like
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
they don't need AC.
Fans. That's all I'm saying. Just get them some fucking fans.
Okay, then get them some fucking fans.
Just
Buy
get
the, why don't you
some-
go buy the fans at the local prison and give them all some fans? Jesus. Sorry, I got a little angry at you. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me touch your hand a little bit. I'm sorry. I've actually never done this to your hand before.
I
But
could
George,
have gone an entire lifetime
that's-
without you doing that.
that's how my last 2 jobs have been. It's no heat, minimal airflow, just
Yeah,
fucking
and you
hot.
agree that sucks.
Yeah,
And you got the non-block blue-collar worker over here working in AC all the time.
yeah, fuck you.
Hey, but people shouldn't be treated like that. No matter what their crimes, they're still fucking people. Like, I'm of the mind that people are the most important thing in the world.
What if they're a cannibal?
What if they're chomos?
Still fucking people.
No.
What about cannibals?
Absolutely not.
Still fucking. Yes, still fucking people. The
See,
definition of a cannibal is someone.
that's where I draw the line.
Cannibals?
If you've eaten another human being, you're no longer a person.
That's
You're a
not-
piece of trash.
That's not true.
Okay, some
In
people
our
gotta-
society, yes, I would understand that, but in like other societies around the world, I don't believe that.
Because the societies that eat other people, they're not people.
Also,
Well, they're not alive anymore.
also people who are in survival situations. Like you haven't eaten in a week. Ted's been dead for an hour or two.
Still not okay.
Still?
Still not okay.
Seriously?
That just makes you a piece of garbage and an
Okay.
animal. You're no longer a person.
Listen. Wait, what'd you say?
If we were in a zombie situation
No, I'm talking about
and I'm walking down the street and there's somebody else walking down the street coming like towards me and they've got just a fucking leg hanging out of their grocery cart because they've eaten the rest of the person, they're dead. They're not a person anymore. They're getting shot.
First of all, I would like to point out it's very toxic to eat human flesh, so they probably are dead anyway.
Well, yes, but I mean, I'm talking about like it's you and Ted stuck on a mountain, blizzard's coming through. Neither of you have eaten for a week. All of a sudden, Bill just drops dead. Do you think would that be all right to eat Bill?
Either bury him or leave him.
All right, so I need you to listen to this for a second, because it's not recent, but it's relatively recent in a historical context. There's a Fijian. It's from Fiji. Fijian. I don't know. Is it Fijian? Would it be Fijian?
Fagin, maybe.
Fiji, I don't know. We'll say Fijian chief that holds a world record. Shut up. And he's from the 19th century, right? His
Yeah.
name is Ratu Udre. Don't know that's how you say that, but that's how I'm putting my American spin on it. This man is known for the most prolific cannibal. He has eaten.
He's not a man.
It's been said that he has eaten between 872 to 999 people. And in his tomb, they put a stone next to his tomb for each person he ate. This is in the 19th century, mind you. Just throwing that out there.
It's finally happened. I'm at a loss for fucking words. I don't know how to respond to that.
Hey, man.
Not even sarcasm. Like
This dude was a terrible person. Like he was.
he's a chief,
yeah. he
and
was a
they all
chief.
just went along with it.
Yeah.
They didn't like.
Well, because I think in their society, most of them ate human anyway. But he was just the one who ate the most. Like, could you imagine eating 1,000 people?
like do you,
Like all of them.
No, because I
Oh.
wouldn't.
all of them?
I'm pretty sure it was all of them.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's undre, not udre, undre.
It's nom nom. What the fuck?
Yeah, but he not like 999 people. How he has to be shitty. He didn't get to that last 1,000th one, huh? He probably did. They just miscounted.
Yeah.
But like, could you imagine if you? I know you hate cannibals, and cannibalism is totally wrong in every sense of the word. But
Except for survival.
No, even
no,
then.
no.
Seriously, hold up.
I'd rather die. Sorry.
Really?
I wouldn't eat you, George.
I would totally eat you.
You are a terrible person,
Yeah,
would-
you are.
bro. You would eat me after all we've been through for like 15
okay,
years.
Yeah.
But you have to
Bruh.
think about it. This is the same person who thinks Kool-Aid is not a juice.
True. I don't want to bring that argument up again because I'm getting mad at him again.
Fuck you.
But like anything you do, like say you were a cannibal and you ate 999 people and you died before you can eat the 1,000th one, would you not be mad? Would you not be on your deathbed like, I could have eaten you? Like,
I would have started gnawing on my own hand at that point. It's like, it counts, it counts.
just bring me one more. What do you think his favorite part of the body was?
Probably the liver.
You think so?
I mean, I was actually about to say when I said I'd eat Phil, I'd go straight for his liver, but
Why? Why the liver?
All
can
the
actually eat
alcohol.
it raw.
George loves alcohol.
yeah. Like, most animals, you can eat the liver raw.
We're not most animals, my friend. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but still, most of the time you can eat a liver raw.
Wait, do you think is cannibalism the same across all species? Like, is it bad for like a lion to eat another lion?
You mean like socially?
No. Sure. What the?
Hold up. Do you think there's not social dynamics among animals?
I understand there is, but their social dynamics are a little different than ours. They
Okay,
don't understand
so
their own
here's what
social
I'm-
dynamic.
Do you mean as in if a lion saw a lion eating another lion, that lion would therefore be exiled from
Say-
the tribe?
No, I'm saying like would it medically speaking would it mess up their body?
Yes.
Like would it kill us
Yes,
the same way it kills them?
because here's the thing. It's more prominent in animals, but that disease,
What is the
well,
disease
the-
called?
it's like kuru, but the disease, it's triggered by two things. If you eat a lot of a nervous system of another animal, if it's not properly cooked, or if you eat your own species. That's the two things that trigger that.
So it would like
And
if
it's
a
not
lion,
even like it's not like a small amount. Like you have to like on multiple occasions eat a member of your own species.
It's like the Book of Eli, the movie, when he walks up to the house
Yeah.
and the two old people are sitting there shaking because literally all they've eaten is protein and protein from people.
Yeah. Actually, among other things, it would cause swelling in the brain, things like that.
But
sorry, I'm reading.
back to your original question, George. I can't think of many animals who actually do eat their own. The only ones that I can think of off the top of my head are wild pigs. And wild
Yeah.
pigs are just fucking savage to begin with.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, don't sharks eat their own kind if it's there? Like I don't think they intentionally kill each other, but like
I think-
there's like a shark floating
That's
in the
just
ocean.
fish eating
Is that
fish.
scavenging?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
just okay? I guess yeah.
I think like scavenging animals might do it, like turkey vultures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But out of all the animals that are out there, I don't think there are like very
lot,
many who
yeah.
actually do it. Besides like spiders, which are insects, like when they
Arachnids.
mate, arachnids, bugs. Like when they mate, they eat.
Wait, hold on. Why do you go general term of insect, the specific correct term arachnids, back to a general term of bugs? Like
Because I'm being general here, because
Okay.
like there's certain animals that do eat like the male when they reproduce and stuff like that, but like that's where you have to like notice that there's a difference between
why? Why are you playing with that over the mic? What the hell are you doing? Stop it.
okay, that's what sets people apart from animals is we actually have like a conscience and like we know, most of us know right from wrong. Like that's the big thing that sets us apart from animals.
Do you think animals know that cannibalism is wrong, or is it just an evolutionary thing that they know that it's just ingrained in them?
I think it's an evolutionary thing.
That would make more sense to me too.
Yeah. I think after a while, like, fucking spiders know they're supposed to eat certain bugs. You know?
Thank you, George.
Fucking,
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
they
go on.
know.
Yeah.
Because generations of generations they've eaten bugs.
Yeah.
All right. So it's kind of like a genetic memory type thing.
It's called evolution, but yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. It makes you so mad when I do that. I apologize. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because evolution actually controls so much of who we are and what we do. It's ridiculous.
So basically, the ones
Don't
with the
say it. Don't you dare say an evolutionary. Don't.
Don't say what?
I knew you were about to say some stupid joke.
No. Okay. So this is kind of off track, but it's kind of on track too. So I was on YouTube and I just happened to click on a link for like a miniature documentary on I forget what the exact term was, but it was about dwarfs. Like actual people shorter than 3'6"
Yeah.
and not weighing more than like 60 to 70 pounds.
Is that the
And
definition of a dwarf, by the way? Is that like the clinical?
I think dwarf is anything under like
5 foot.
5 foot, but like this was a specific like
class, like
subject, like
yeah, okay.
yeah, of
I
dwarfs.
say class like it's Elder Scrolls or something. My bad. Go on.
But they were literally defined by being small, skinny, and having very high pitched voices. And most of them don't live past like 28.
Oh my god, that'd be
Yeah.
terrible.
But like it was crazy because like you see these like 10-year-old kids like running from the bus like to go home, and they literally look like 2-year-olds. And they're 10 years old.
crazy.
Yeah. There was one, it was this girl standing next to her cousin. She's 14. Her cousin was, I think he just started walking. And the kid was like 3 or 4 inches taller than her
No.
and outweighed her by like 20 pounds.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The kid literally looks like a giant compared to her.
That is crazy. Yo, so you said their lifespan averaged about 28 years, right?
Yeah.
Would you even go to school at that point? Like, would
Well,
you?
you'd make it through high school and you'd have 7 years.
So, like, think about it. If you were going to live to the age of 28, would you ever go back? Like, and you could make the decision that you didn't want to go to school. Would you ever go to high school again?
I didn't go to high school when I was.
God,
That's
never
what I
mind.
was going to say.
Bro, when Cody sent us that text of that from that billboard, and you said you'd be breaking. Oh my God, I started dying laughing, man. That
I
was
beat
great.
the odds. I beat the facts.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to add a little bit more to that,
Yeah,
Brandon, so
sorry.
people know.
So we have a group message with us three and a friend of ours. And he sent us a message because he's a truck driver. He saw a billboard that said, I don't remember what this correct statistic was, but like if you don't, basically saying
If you miss 2 days of school out of a month, you're less
Yeah.
likely to graduate.
yeah. And he sent us a text that said that George was breaking statistics out here because George, I guarantee you, how many classes did you go to in your senior year?
I don't know.
Like it was bad. Like I never saw you our senior year. Like you were just gone all
It was
the time.
either he got up and came to school, or he just decided to not come to school.
Yep.
Sometimes I'd fuck with you guys, and I'd come in halfway through. Oh yeah.
You are ridiculous. But we didn't know if George graduated from high school at one point. Well, all of us were sitting in my house, and George wasn't with us, and we're like, yo, did George actually graduate? And Israel was like, I don't think so, in all honesty. And Cody's like, I think he did. And then I was like, nah, he really didn't. And so I finally texted George, like, yo, dog, did you graduate? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I was like, what?
What do you mean? I don't know.
You said you didn't know.
No, I said I knew because I had my fucking diploma
No, this is
mailed
before,
to my house.
This is before the diplomas got mailed.
Oh, then yeah, at that point I didn't know.
Like he didn't even care to know either. Like he was just like, I don't know. Like I'm so proud.
I
You
forget
made
which
it,
class. I didn't really check my grade right before. I was like, oh shit.
bro. Out of all of our friends, I think I'm most proudest of you from where you're at from where you were. Like in all honesty, like not to like make this about your life or anything, but like out of all of us, we for real thought you were gonna be the last one to do a goddamn thing.
Thanks.
And now you out here living, man.
Well, shit. A lot of it was my fucking no one. This is a big part of it. No one taught me how to drive. No one ever taught me much. My grandma didn't know how to do much. My grandfather, around the time I needed to start learning how to do things, he had a stroke, became senile. My parents
Are your parents?
are my parents. I won't go too far.
Because
But no one really taught me anything. So one of those things was no one taught me how to drive.
yeah.
Katie, Phil's girlfriend, was the one who taught me how to drive at 19 years old.
Man, I'm so proud of you though, for real. Cause like I remember having conversations with my grandparents. They're like, "How's George doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. He still doesn't have a job, and he still doesn't know how to drive, and I don't know what he's doing with his life."
Well, the biggest thing was like, George, you were always telling me like, I don't want to know how to drive. I don't want to get my license because then my family will expect me to do things.
No, that was my excuse.
There you go.
Exactly.
And in reality, I wanted to learn, and even now they try to get me to do things. I'm like, "Fuck you," and I just leave.
But like in all reality, they were worried about you because they're like, we really hope he can get his life together and he can actually, find a job and start making a life for himself.
Because I think deep down inside, they don't want you to end up like them.
No, I'm not talking about his
What?
grandparents. I'm talking about my grandparents.
No, I'm talking about his family.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think that too. On like for real. Like I hate that we're doing this to him right now, but like I honestly
I
think
don't care.
that like your family is like, I feel like honestly like deep down they don't want you to be like your sister. No offense to your sister or your brother. Well, your brother's doing all right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they want you to do better than they did.
I am doing better than they.
I know you are, and I understand that, but I'm saying like for a long time, like that's why I feel like there was so much backlash between you and your family that they just wanted you to do something.
No, there's backlash for a lot of different reasons. I'm not.
I know,
gonna go into
I
it,
know, but I'm saying like I think that's one of the reasons.
trust me, it had nothing to do with all that.
Did it not really?
No.
I felt like that was. I've always felt like that was one of the reasons why, like, you just didn't care
No.
because they were just like pushing you so hard.
No, my family wasn't pushing me.
Alright.
That's you have to understand. My family essentially just. I don't mean to sound like I'm give you guys a sob story. I was essentially neglected, in a good way and a bad way. In a good way because I got to do whatever the fuck I wanted.
That's not good.
It is pretty good.
No, it's not.
In the act, it's pretty fucking
Bro,
good.
if it was good, you would have known if you graduated or not.
Yeah. In bad, I didn't have anybody pushing me to do better or helping me to do better.
We tried, man.
We did
We
try.
tried, man. I'm telling you. I know you didn't want to hear it from us because we're your homeboys and whatnot, and we're like, you don't look at us that way, but like,
Hold up. What?
bro, don't sit here and try to tell me I didn't try,
Okay, when? Just when?
Anytime
I
I-
don't have a good memory. When?
bro. I would tell you all the time, just come work at this grocery store with me, and you were
I
like,
had an application and everything. I handed it in.
yeah, but like when we left after you grabbed the application, you literally were walking out of the store, screamed, "Hell yeah!" and then did a heel click as you walked out the door.
That was over exaggerated.
Yeah, no,
No,
don't
I
think
did
it
that over
was.
exaggeration on purpose.
Oh yeah, see that's what my point. You can't do that. Like when you're looking for a job, you can't do that kind of stuff. You gotta be like a normal human.
You know me. I don't give a fuck.
I know, and that was the problem. That's why I'm trying to say, like, we were trying to get you to give a fuck.
No, they're not gonna look at that and be like, "Whoa, he's not getting the fucking job."
Shit, you want to bet? Because I didn't want to hire you in that moment. I regret even bringing you in there at that moment. But we're doing all this to say that I'm doing all this to say that I'm proud of you as a homie. You're doing good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I feel like I'm the one who ain't doing shit with his life. It's
You're
bad,
going to
bro.
school.
Yeah, but y'all out here like having jobs, living on your own, and like you have a decent job. I'm like, I'm still in college. Fuck.
Yeah, you're still in college.
I know, but I just feel like I don't do shit all day. Like especially
it's
during the
summer.
summer.
That's your
Especially I
break.
was like, ugh, I am not doing a goddamn thing.
You know what my break is? I get a decent paycheck.
That's just true.
But Brandon, your job is to play video games.
I mean, no, it is not. My job is to sell video games. There's a complete difference.
but you have
in
to
those
play
situations.
them to understand them so you can sell them.
This is true. Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, but like I don't consider that working. And it's But yeah, like
Work is work.
yeah, I know.
I'm
I'm
it's
not.
sick
better
of
when
this.
it's fun.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I love my job. Like I have a lot of fun with like interacting with customers and talking about stuff that I actually like to talk about. But I just sometimes I feel like when you guys are at work all day and we're texting back and forth and I can respond like so quick and you guys can only respond like every few minutes. I feel like I'm the needy girlfriend that's like texting the three dude. Like it just feels weird, man. But yeah, I mean during school I'll be more absent from everything, but like it's just weird. I don't like it because it's like before when we were in all in high school, we were all doing the same thing at like the same general time. Like we would go to school, we go home, we go to work, right?
Well, I didn't really go to school.
I mean, shut up.
You mean we'd go to school, come home, we'd all play video games all night, and then go back to school?
Well, okay, and then we would work sometime
and talk
in
about
between.
the video games we played, and then
But like we were all on like, I guess it's just because we're not all on the same schedule anymore. It's just weird. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't have an actual 9 to 5 job because I don't. But except I work 9 to 5 when I do work. Hey.
there you go.
But isn't that crazy? Like how much has changed since like we graduated. Like, I know that's like a dumb thing to talk about, but like
Well, not really.
our life has like changed so much, and it's crazy.
Yeah, sure. A lot of things changed.
Like, I mean, me and Phil have been in the same relationship since we graduated high school. Which, I mean, back in the day, that would have been ridiculous for us to do. And
Would it?
that, yes, it would. Are you joking me?
You two in a long-term relationship?
Yeah.
No, I kind of saw that coming.
No. Get out of here.
Because
Because after,
I really did see that coming.
because you know how I was after my last long-term relationship.
Yeah, that's why I expect you to get back into one because
No,
you're a
shut
long-term
up.
relationship type of
I'm
guy.
not- no, get out of here.
You know how I'd be surprised was in a long-term relationship? Nevin. That's who
okay,
it'd be.
well,
Damn.
but like I didn't see us like at 21 years old. Like, I mean, me and Phil's like, this is the kind of life we want. I mean, I want to obviously I want to finish my degree and all that stuff, but like, generally speaking, like, this is the kind of life we want. I know Phil's in that point for real right now, but like, we graduated 3 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like it's funny to like look back at like our friend group in high school
Man.
and see how many of us actually went to college.
It's ridiculous. Like, I think me, Israel, and Caleb are the only ones.
Who are still in college?
Yeah. Like, Blaine went. I don't
for
know.
a while.
Yeah, I think he still did for a little bit. I think he might have got his associates, but like me, Israel, and Caleb are the only three that like actually had the intention of fully going to college and getting a full degree.
And
Which,
I tried and was like,
yeah,
fuck this shit.
Cody tried. He said the same thing.
Technically, I'll have a degree at the end of the apprenticeship.
This is true, but that's not really school. Like,
No, I'll be going to classes and stuff.
Oh, really?
I'm going to
Yeah.
be going to classes too through work. So,
oh, that's cool.
and I'm going to be
Yeah.
getting paid to go to classes.
yeah.
And I get a brand new car to go to these classes. So
What?
See,
Yeah,
this is
when
what
they
I'm talking
when,
about.
okay, so when they send me to class, they're gonna put me in either a brand new fucking Lincoln or a brand new Mazda. I'm gonna drive to Chicago, spend 2 days at classes, and drive back.
That's what I'm
They
talking
pay
about.
How
for room and
often?
food.
What?
2, 3, 4 times a year.
Okay, that's different. Yeah.
Like, he's at the point where he gets to do cool grown up shit, and I'm still sitting at home studying and acting like I'm still in high school, and it's just frustrating sometimes, man. Like, I love that I'm still going to school and stuff, but like, it gets to a point where you just get frustrated. Like, school is frustrating. Like, it's hard. Like, it's just ugh.
That's why I said fuck it after half a semester.
That's why I didn't go for half a semester.
That's true. I mean, it's not for everybody, which that's another thing. Like, I feel like the education system, that's why it's so screwed up.
They're okay. So my big thing is like what I felt about Carmel is it was all pushing to go
Right,
to
it
college,
was
go to
so-
college, go
oh
to college.
my God,
They didn't like.
give you other options.
Yeah, they didn't tell you about any other options. Like the only reason I found out about other options is because I asked.
Yep.
Like if you don't ask, they weren't gonna say anything.
Yeah, that's what happened with me when I told my guidance counselor I want to be an electrician. She didn't really know how to deal with that, so she just sent me some links through an email. Looking back on those links, all were fucking horrible. Which I don't want to talk too much shit about my guidance counselor because she probably just didn't know what to do with me.
Yeah, which is
'Cause I
fair
wasn't
because
there.
that's a hard job
Yeah.
to do.
Because I wasn't there, she had to deal with all these other kids.
Yep.
And then on top of all that, I'm doing something that was atypical at Carmel.
Yep.
And I want to be an electrician. So, and looking back at all the links she gave me, those were not the best options. I'm going through the best option right now, which I'm going through the union.
Do you remember Jesse who rode our bus freshman sophomore year?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Why are you
Gee-
yelling? Calm
sorry.
down.
Do you know what he's doing now?
What?
He's a professional welder.
Yeah, dude.
He probably makes good money.
No,
too.
Yeah.
dude, those motherfuckers make.
Like you
Good.
go into like the boiler room of like a building, like where they got the big like
Yeah.
foot steel pipes. Like yeah, he welds that shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He sets that shit up.
I mean, he's probably got a nice life right now, as long as he likes what he does.
And
but
then like when he's not doing that, he's using his welding for art.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
even
cool.
More baller.
But yeah, like I feel like that's like a lot of schools outside of where we live. The problem is that they don't know how to get, like people don't know how to get to college, right? Carmel, it's the opposite. They don't know how to get people whose college isn't right for them to where they need to be because they just constantly are like, go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college.
Well,
I'm like,
I'm not going to say that because there were certain kids with behavioral problems at Carmel. I was one of them.
yeah,
They often, even before we got into Carmel, I remember in Clay Middle School, they took us into the guidance counselor's office, sat us down because every once in a while we had to have meetings.
Yeah, fuck those meetings.
And no, as in a big group of us,
I know.
all the kids who had behavioral
Bro,
problems.
I was part of those kids in middle school.
Were you?
Yes.
Our entire friend group was those
Right?
kids.
Like, don't.
Hold up. Were you there when Cody stomped out Mitchell Walker?
I mean, I wasn't there in that moment, but
I was part of that little
I
thing.
know you were.
I tried to keep up, but I was too fat, couldn't keep up. But even as
hold
soon
on.
as then,
Even though Mitchell Walker made our lives living hell, rest in peace. God bless the dead. Continue.
okay, that's you. I'll talk shit about him.
Oh God.
Anyway, even as soon as then, they were trying to get me to go to JEL because I think they just saw that maybe a trade would have been better for kids like us, which at the end for me
It
was
is
true.
Yeah.
I
That's
love what
why-
I do as an electrician.
That's why, like, even when I went to Ivy Tech, like, it frustrated me so much that people who, like, go to 4-year degrees look down on those people who go to Ivy Tech.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they're doing the same thing you're doing. They just can't afford to do it the way you're doing it. It's, like, and what's cool is that Ivy Tech makes it affordable, and the only bad thing is that since I came from Carmel, it's like I was taking high school over again, because Carmel basically is like the first year of college for 4 years. It's rough. Like, it's rough.
That's one of the reasons I left, because it was literally just a continuation of high school,
Yep.
and I saw it as a waste of money. And the only thing I learned at Ivy Tech is all my teachers were either alcoholics or loved drugs,
Yeah.
and all of them fucking hated the government.
Yep.
That's the only thing I learned, and I was paying for it, and I just thought it was a waste of money.
Which is fair, because like I said, it's not for everybody. But I saw the same things you did, Phil, but I just knew in the back of my mind that I need to get through this grind because it's going to make what I want to do later easier. Because, I mean, I'm 21 years old and have a degree. Like, not a lot of people can say that. You know what I mean? And not like that I'm trying to, like,
Brag.
yeah. But it's just, that's not a lot of people think that's an option, that they can get a degree at 21. They think it has to be like, I mean, at the time I was 20 and had a degree, and not a lot of people think that's possible. But it's like, you can do that, and I can go right now and go find a job with my degree, because I mean the option's available to me. But and it can be a decent job, but I want to keep going, and that's just, I just saw Ivy Tech as that, because I was bad at high school. Like, we were all bad at high school, and it was just a way for me to kind of redo all that.
We were all decent at high school. We just didn't try real hard.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, we all knew how to do everything they were asking us to do. We just didn't care enough to respect the system enough to do it. You know what I mean?
I don't know about you, but I did phenomenal on all my tests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do homework, but I
Exactly.
took
Yeah,
the test and passed the class.
That's
do
the
the
thing.
fucking homework.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna do schoolwork outside of school. Fuck you.
There are some classes though, like some of those math classes. Like, if I didn't do the homework, I was screwed.
Okay. I read this earlier this week. I don't know exactly where it was, but there's actually there's a school district. They're actually ditching homework.
Oh, thank you, God. Those
No
are
homework.
saints, man.
All the work should be done in school. And I was just kind of reading over it, like the generalization of it, and it kind of made me mad.
Why?
Because all the homework that they gave us that I didn't do, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I honestly, because think about it. When you were at college, okay, Ivy Tech was like high school, so it was a lot of busy work, but they didn't really hand you out a bunch of homework. They just read this and be able to talk about it in class the next day, right? That's how I think you should be able to learn. Like, it shouldn't be me assigning you all these problems and all these questions, and you have to find the answer and just get it done quick and over with. You should be able to read something and understand it and be able to not regurgitate it, but tell me what you read. You know what I mean? Which I think that's the problem with high school, middle school, and elementary schools. That's like their kids, so they need it to kind of focus. But
Make
like,
sure they don't choke on their applesauce and shit their pants. Things like that. Just that's all you gotta do in elementary school.
were you shitting on yourself in elementary school in the 5th grade?
No, but other kids were.
But it's just, like, I think the education system, like, they take the way they do things for like little kids too high up, if that makes sense.
yeah. No joke, senior year, we actually had a sub shit his pants.
Yo, how did I not hear about this?
It was at JEL.
Oh shit.
We're sitting there,
Oh
we're
my
watching a movie,
God, that is
and this
great.
dude's like asleep in the corner at his desk. And all of a sudden you just hear, and he just like sits up, he's like, oh shit, and he left.
Oh my God, that is absolutely fantastic. Could you, George? Oh my god.
Dude, we had a class senior year. George had him for American history. Our teacher didn't show up.
Was it
So we all
who was it? Who did you have for American? I feel like I know this. Oh no,
Toby Steele?
No,
No.
the year before that. He accused you of stealing the iPod.
Oh, Mr. Ziegler.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mr. Ziegler.
That was a joke. That was part of a.
Yeah. But he didn't show up for class. So we're all sitting there like, what do we do? So we put in a movie, and we literally sat there for 3/4 of the class, and then an administrator walked in and was like, where's your teacher? We're like, we don't know, but we're watching a movie about American history. And she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here with you guys for the rest of the class.
That's OG. Did you guys know that rule about like if a teacher never shows up, everyone can leave within 5 minutes? Total bullshit,
Of course, it was total bullshit.
man. Like it don't even apply in college, bro.
We just wanted to leave.
I know, but like you would think that would work in college, right? Because it's like you technically
Yeah.
don't have to be there. Like they don't care. Bro, do you know they're starting to do attendance in college now?
Yeah.
Isn't
If you
that-
miss too many classes, they dock your grade a letter.
That's absurd. Like that's dumb. They're already getting paid. Why do they care? Like if you're dumb enough to pay them and not go to class, why does your grade matter at that point?
It doesn't. That's why they're taking it.
But like why go through the like why make that a threat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they show that college produces shitty students, then why would people want to send their children?
But that's my
there?
point. That's dumb. Like I don't think you should base a college off of like the outliers. Like that's not how statistics should work to begin with. Second of all, that's not a real representation of the student body. Like if
Well, we talked about this before. You know, people always focus on the negative. You know, the bridge builders and the cocksuckers. You know,
why do you love to bring that up? All
Because
the time?
it's a great fucking phrase, and it demonstrates the fucking point very well.
You just like saying cocksuckers.
I do like saying cocksuckers.
That's all it is. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Me and Hannah were driving around one day. It was after our your meltdown podcast.
Which one?
The bikers.
Oh.
We were driving by, and there was a gang of them. Like they were training. And I had the biggest I had so much road rage just from you because I thought about it and I was like, these people, man, I hate you. And then I just lost it. I lost it. And Hannah looked at me and she's like, George got to you, didn't he? And I was like, yes, he did.
Yeah.
Because I was half tempted. Like my windows are down to begin with because it's hot. But I was half tempted to like stop and be like, I hate all of you. Go to hell, and then just keep driving. But I controlled myself.
I've told myself from now on, if I ever get caught behind a biker, I'm just laying on my horn. I'm just gonna lay on my horn, roll down my window, and look at him. Just fucking the entire time until they get off the fucking sidewalk.
But I just love the fact that now, like, this podcast is dipping into the rest of our lives because I instantly remember that moment. I'm like, oh, you guys are terrible people. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
So now every time we see a biker, she's like, I bet George is mad, and I'm like, he's not even here, so why would he be mad about that?
Because he knows
Yeah,
deep down
right.
inside.
Because I know deep down inside, people are fucking cocksuckers
There
who
it is.
can't get
again.
on the fucking sidewalk. Get on the fucking sidewalk.
I don't. Have you ever tried to ride one of those skinny bikes?
Hmm?
It's hard.
What?
The skinny bikes,
What do you mean?
the ones that the cyclists use.
They have like the really thin tires.
The reason they think
Oh,
they
yeah.
need to be on the road.
Those?
Yeah.
The road bikes.
Yeah, I think I rode one once.
Bro, they're the bumps. It's real. Like it's a real thing.
Yeah, bumps
it
are always
doesn't-
real.
No, I'm saying like the way it affects it'll tear your bike.
Yeah.
Like it'll tear you up. I don't think it's good reason for them to be in the middle of the road while I'm driving. But
No.
you know, that brings me back. Like that makes me think about the conversation we had about the right of way and who should have the right of way. And we pulled up that diagram of how a horse has a right of way over a car and humans have a right of way over a car, but they all like give way to it was dumb. Like that sign made me so mad. Like cars have the right of way, people. Y'all ready to cut it loose?
Yeah, it's about that time to wrap it up. Wait,
Gotta-
let's do our little Twitter things before we do the joke, because the joke is a good thing to end on.
True.
Because I was listening to last week's podcast. I know we shouldn't be talking about this on the podcast, but
Nah. Learning on the fly. That's the way people like to live.
It was a bit awkward. We did our outro joke, and then we fucking whored ourselves out. So let's
Don't
do
say
that first.
whoring ourselves out. I would never sell my body on the street, sir.
Think you would.
He only does it on the internet.
Shut up, you stupid.
You know it.
Would you whore yourself out?
Depends how much.
What?
How much? How much
Bro,
getting paid?
have you guys ever? You guys know the question, like the phrase, "I ain't gay, but $20 is $20."
Yeah.
Does that apply to your life?
Depends.
Oh my God!
Depends.
Get out of here.
It ain't $20. Can tell you that much.
How much?
Shit, you gotta give me numbers.
Cool grand.
What?
A cool grand.
Nah, I'm not sucking dick for 1,000.
300 stacks.
300 grand?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'd suck a dick for
Oh my
300 grand.
God! How did I hit his number that fast?
Because that's
bro?
300 fucking grand.
No.
Okay. You know
That's
the,
like a third of his retirement fund there.
yeah, pretty much. Do you know fucking? All right, so you know the rule of 7, right? Okay, so rule of 7. That's 7 years. It takes 7 years for I forget, for the average savings account to double.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so 300,000.
It's sad that I was an accounting major. Didn't know that. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I took personal finance, so fuck you.
Shows you how
Alright.
much I really like that major.
So 300,000.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm 21, and I retire at 64
So why are you doing this math right now?
because I like math. So 43 years. 43 years.
Yep.
Divide that by 7. It would double 6 times. So
Good job. You can
3
divide 42 from 7. I'm proud.
wait a fucking minute. So 300,000 doubled 6 times. Let's see what that is.
I can tell you it's about 180 or 1,800,000 probably. No, that's too high. No, that's accurate. Is that accurate, Phil?
I think I might have messed up. But yeah, it's like around 192,000. Whatever the
100
fuck that number is.
192 million. I mean, yeah, 1.92 million. Yeah, that's what I
From
meant.
one dick, and I'm set for life.
No.
And I think some of your kids might be set for
Yeah.
a while.
So you do it too, Phil?
No, I wouldn't.
Thank
Oh
you.
fuck yeah! I would make my family crest me blowing a man. I don't give a
Oh
fuck.
my God.
No, but
No.
in all honesty, if you're not sucking dick for $300,000, there's something wrong with you.
No, there's not. I've never understood that because it's like, how are you sexually attracted to a man?
No,
Then why? Why?
because I'm sexually attracted to $300,000. That's why. I can put all that money into a pile of shit like a thick bitch. That's why.
Why you gotta throw that? Why you gotta? Women, George, are not bitches, okay? Thick women. You don't want a bitch, you want a woman.
Okay, yes, a thick woman.
There
Anyway,
you
He
go.
doesn't care when it's made out of money, though.
I don't
Sure,
care.
That's true. I'll give you that. No, there's no amount of. I don't think there's an amount of money that can make me do that. Because, like, I can't find, like, I'm very, like, this will sound weird, but, like, I'm very cerebral with it. So, like, if there's, like, small things, just the way you talk, the way you act, like, nah, not happening. I'm telling you, bro, it's weird. I think about it too much. Like, I'm in my head
Think
too
about
much.
sucking dicks often.
No. I'm just saying, like, in any capacity, I think I'm in my head too much.
And
Then I can't, like, I just can't bring myself to do it.
yeah, my friend Kurt at work said the same thing. Like every time I spent that money, I'd be reminded. Like I don't give a fuck. Give me $300,000.
No.
Yes.
No.
George better go find Charlie Sheen.
Okay, with AIDS, I'm gonna need a bit more. Anyway,
What?
Charlie Sheen has AIDS. If I'm gonna blow an AIDSy dick, I want the money.
I'm more baffled by the fact that you'd actually have the audacity to give fellatio to an AIDSy dick. Like, what? You would kill yourself for $300,000?
That part is sarcastic.
$300,000 is what George will give to kill himself.
No,
Good job.
no. The fuck?
Like you have the money to afford them drugs. Get out of here. You die of AIDS.
He would.
Not with $300,000.
True.
Because
No, I wouldn't
then you
suck
wouldn't
an
be.
AIDSy
Then you
dick
wouldn't.
for $300,000. I probably wouldn't suck an AIDSy dick, to be honest. I think.
Oh, so
where
that's your line.
That's
the
where
line
it's
where
line.
you get a disease that could kill you is where you're like, no, I don't. No, I'm good. Are you serious? That's your line.
Okay, what the fuck is your line?
How about not
Hey,
doing it?
I just figured it out. It all makes sense. George sucking a dick is basically him just eating a person.
Boom. You're an animal. Not a human. All right. We ready? We're done.
All right.
Cool. George is a gay cannibal. That's fine.
Should we?
You're one of the gays.
Should we use that as our like description?
Yeah, George the gay cannibal.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think that would hit well with the internet, but that's fine.
All right.
George, whore yourself out.
My name is George Georgopoulos. You can follow me at Mr. D Bopoulos on Twitter.
I'm OG Philly G. You can find me on YouTube at Phil Seaman and on Instagram at @thatslow_EG.
My name is Brandon Rencher, or aka Baby Ice Cube. That's my Twitter and Instagram. Also, feel free to follow the Classic Urban Podcast Twitter. We need some followers so we can update you guys on what's going on with the podcast and when we're uploading, things of that nature. Is there anything else we got to whore out? Is that it? Oh, subscribe to us on YouTube while you're at it too. Forgot about that one. That's probably an
Yeah, and
important
if
one.
you are listening, hit the thumbs up button so like we know who's listening.
Yeah, and
how
also,
many people are.
if you want to hit the dislike button, I'll take negative feedback too.
Yeah, just
Just
Leave
don't
a
hit it a
mean
lot.
comment.
Just don't leave it a lot.
give us some feedback. Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Give us some topics for next week. We might throw those in there.
True.
We probably will throw those in here because we don't research subjects until like 10 minutes before.
That keeps it fresh, new, organic, my friend.
Yeah, kind of. It's also like leaves me strapped for time. Like
Well,
I don't
because
know about
you're
you, but that entire time I was sitting there reading articles trying to find something interesting.
because you're a psychopath.
How am I a psychopath?
Because you can't relax.
I-
Let it flow. I tell you this all the time. Just let it flow.
What
All right,
the fuck
sorry.
have we been
All
doing
right,
this
sorry,
entire
sorry,
time? What
sorry.
the fuck have we been doing this entire time?
Calm down. Calm down.
Who has a joke?
I ain't got nothing today. I can look one up real quick.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I got one.
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
So, 3 men.
Oh, it's one of these jokes. Sorry, go ahead.
3 men are stranded on an island.
Oh.
They're captured by the cannibals who are native to this island.
Oh my God.
Cannibals say, go into the forest, bring us 10 of the same fruit. First man goes into this forest, he finds apples.
Longest setup ever.
Oh, yeah. Cannibals say to him, all right, if you can shove all those apples up your ass without
Oh
making
my God.
without making a face, showing any expression, we'll let you out of here. He gets to the second apple, makes a face, kill him, eat him. Second man comes back with berries. Tell him the same thing. He gets to the 9th berry. He has only one more berry to go. He bursts out laughing. They kill him. They eat him. 2 men are talking in heaven. They say, "Man, why did you laugh? You were almost scot-free." He looks at him and said, "Saw the third guy coming with pineapples."
You're an idiot.